Hey everybody, I am A.R. Mar, and what I watched today is Book 2, Chapter 8 of Avatar The Last Airbender, The Chase. You know, I hadn't really noticed it before or thought about it, but Avatar is one of the earliest shows that I can think of that has what I like to call the talkie theme format, where, the opening titles aren't so much a theme song or like a selection of popular music like some shows, but a quick overview of the basic point of the series. This one goes over the elements and tells us who the Avatar is. A lot of the recent superhero shows will, give you a quick overview of who the superhero is that you're about to watch. And I have mixed feelings on this opening. In this case, it's really great and it's really well used. In some shows, it's just sort of, I don't know, it feels uncreative. But in this case, in Avatar's case, it really fits, and it really sets a really good mood and tone for the show to start. This episode starts us right off with a flashback, and then we get right into the action. We start off with them setting up that it's spring and Appa is starting to shed. So, Aang and Sokka are obviously making the most of it, trying to have a laugh, playing with the hair. Aang basically repeats his old man beard disguise from before with Appa hair. Sokka makes a bit of a wig. Even Toph joins into the fun, much to Katara's dismay, though Katara ends up laughing with them in the end. And it's all around just a great light scene that starts off a really intense episode. So later they try to set up camp, and, well, Toph isn't helping. When Katara confronts her about it, Toph, sort of looks at her and goes, "What? I'm carrying my own weight." Kind of missing the idea that, it's not just about carrying your own weight, it's about everyone, working together and helping each other. And there's no shame in this, it's just a team, all pulling together to make something better than if each of them just carried their own weight. But yeah, this starts an argument that runs throughout the episode, getting progressively worse as its characters get tireder and tireder. Because in the same scene, we have Toph sensing through the earth something pursuing them. A rumbling that she describes as, it's like an avalanche, but not of an avalanche. To which Sokka responds, "Your powers of perception are amazing." Though really, she's seeing through vibrations through the earth. It makes sense that she doesn't know exactly what it is. Just that it makes a vibration similar to an avalanche. This thing is some intense, tank train thing, obviously built by the Fire Nation, and it just pursues them relentlessly throughout this entire episode. The next time they stop, Katara and Toph have a more intense argument about, carrying your own weight versus working as part of the group. Katara's impulse to take responsibility for everyone has her, going up to Toph and going, "Hey, why aren't you helping? Why aren't you pulling your weight? Why are you..." Though Toph is adamant that she is pulling her own weight. She doesn't need anyone to help her, and she doesn't need to help anyone else, because she is taking care of herself. I sort of get, where she's coming from, but at the same time, she's part of a group now, and it's not exactly a bad thing to participate in the group and help out. It's not like they're trying to baby her or take care of her or anything like that. They're asking her to, share the work. And they both have good points, and I can see where Katara and Toph are both coming from. It's just, it's just kind of that, it's something that feels like they could have resolved it faster if they weren't so tired. And, Toph brings up, how much she gave up to come with Aang and co. to teach Aang earthbending. But it clashes a little for me, where we left her off a couple episodes ago, where, her going with Aang and company was her seizing her own freedom. And in a way I get it, she regrets what she's done because it's new, it's scary. And while she is seizing her own freedom, she's never done that before. And in a way, I bet Toph does miss the security she had before. It's kind of priceless during this second fight where like Aang comes over and says, it's like you both just need to calm down. Katara's just like flips out on him. The typical like almost trope reaction where they're like, "I am calm." But yeah, I just love that, like, it's a great little moment. It helps break up the tension because the tank is still chasing them and they have to move yet again. The third time they stopped, there was a great line where, like, Toph mentions them that, they kind of haven't told her who Zuko is. And, like, they try to describe him. Sokka's like, crazy, psycho, Scarface, has a ponytail. And Katara, points out that he has a ponytail too, and Sokka's like, no, this is a warrior's wolf tail. Katara had the best line of the episode right there, and it's another line that just made me laugh right out loud. Well, it certainly tells the other warriors that you're fun and perky. Oh, that was great. Like, that was a really just great moment. Of course, the tank shows up again. And Aang and company fly, like, through most of the night. They're starting to get desperately tired. And they land again. This time on a mountaintop, thinking, okay, hopefully we put enough distance, but there the train is, and it opens up, having, like, Azula and her crew jump out on these awesome riding, like, I think they're geckos, but they look so cool, and it's... I mean, I always, like, geek out over the different fauna of this world, and these ones are no exception. They are just, like, awesome little things. And I've noticed that a lot of the Fire Nation animals are closer to the reptilian side, which is definitely an interesting design point and fits with the whole, like, Fire Nation, dragon kind of mythos. And I just totally love it. They manage to escape, but Sokka has a bit of a panic attack, realizing as the sun comes up that they have been running all night, and they still haven't shaked their pursuers. And yeah, like, it is a hilarious moment, just Sokka panicking, going, it's like, I've never not slept before! I have a little trouble believing that there is actually a kid out there who has never tried to stay up all night, but, Sokka does seem like that type who really values his sleep, so maybe he hasn't. So that's kind of cool. And, like, we get a quick little aside showing that Zuko is tracking the land tank train thing on his bird horse. And just, like, following along, trying to beat his sister to the Avatar. His usual bit, but it's nice to see him back on the trail after his little detour before in the Earth Kingdom. And then Appa just crashes. I mean, he's been driven to exhaustion. He's been flying all night constantly. I mean, really, big props to Appa. He's been, like, trying desperately to keep his humans safe, but he's just out of juice. And this is when they figure out that it's Appa's shedded fur that the enemy has been following. That is the trail that has been leading this tank to them each and every time. Which really, like, that's a great moment, like, them going, it's like, oh crap, like, this is how they've been able to find us. Because before I was like, when they kept asking, how are they tracking us, I kept thinking in my brain, it's like, do they have some kind of, like, avatar tracker now? Are they tracking the bending somehow? I mean, it's shown that they've lost sight of Appa a couple times while following them, so it can't be, like, just a visual track. And it's like, oh, right, he's been shedding this entire time. They've been leaving a huge trail. So yeah, that really, like, that was a great little moment. Unfortunately, this is also around the time when Aang and Katara have a big argument with Toph, all of them basically biting each other's head off because they're so tired, and then everything just sort of comes to a head. After Toph storms off, Aang and Katara, kind of realize, like, crap, we were a little hard on her, and we probably should not have been quite that mean. Aang's basically going, it's like, shit, I drove away my earthbending teacher, what do I do? Sokka is just so tired at this moment that I don't think he's even aware of what he's saying, because he's just sitting there sipping some water, and it's like, yep, you were both pretty big jerks. And, they just look at him and is like, thanks, Sokka. You're welcome. Like, he is just so tired at this point that, like I said, I'm not even sure he actually understands what's going on. So, like, right after this, they all wash Appa off because they've realized that the fur is the problem. they manage to gather up some fur, and Aang tries to lead a false trail. And it's at this point that we go to, where Toph is, and he meets my favorite firebender, Uncle Iroh. Sorry, she meets. And, it's like Iroh is in the same area, and later we find out that he's been tracking Zuko this entire time. Which I really like. It speaks greatly to his character that, it's... Even though Zuko said, leave me alone, I'm going to continue alone, I don't want you around. Iroh cares about him so much, and he is so, intent on making sure that Zuko is safe, that he's just nope, gonna follow you. And that's what he did. I mean, he's keeping his distance so that Zuko can have that independence and, have some time to calm down and sort of, think things through. But he's not abandoning Zuko. He's just basically going, okay, I'll give you your space, but I will be here if you need me. And this kind of goes into, the talk that... Sorry, the talk that Toph and Iroh have when over tea. Where Iroh sort of, talks to Toph and basically says, you don't have to, worry about, asking for help. I mean, he pours the tea for her, and, Toph is you didn't have to do that for me. I could have poured my own tea, and I was I didn't pour the tea because I thought you needed me to. I poured it because I wanted to. He's just being, infinitely polite, and this is who Iroh is, and I love how he just says it so bluntly. I didn't do it because I didn't think you could. I did it because I wanted to. And, through their talk, he helps her realize that there's no shame in asking the people who care about you for help. There's no weakness in it. Really, it's more like strength. I mean, relying on others is not weakness. Admittedly, when others are treating you like Toph was being treated by her parents, like a baby who can't do anything for themselves, yeah, that is bad. But, through this conversation, Toph kind of realizes, her friends, they wanted to help her, but they also wanted her to help them. This wasn't about them thinking she was weak, and more about the fact that they just wanted to do things together. And I love that moment. It's Iroh giving his wisdom to Toph and just sort of, helping her see that, she was wrong so that she can go and everyone can apologize to each other. Now, admittedly, while this is going on, we've got a pretty cool fight scene where Azula and her gang, they note it. They pretty much pick up on the fact that the fur trail is now a fake trail being left behind by Aang. And, Aang... So, half of them, Ty Lee and May, go off to chase Appa, and Azula follows the fur trail very much correctly, assuming that it's the Avatar that left it. And this is a great fight scene, that happens between Ty Lee, May, Katara, and Sokka. Partly because, right before it starts up, we find out that these geckos are the type that can just run across water, even while carrying riders, which is pretty awesome. Katara almost manages to take them out immediately with a waterbending move, but Ty Lee, being just the super fast spider monkey of a girl she is, manages to leap away from the waterbending attack, bounce off a whole bunch of trees, and attack Katara. But you can see, Katara is terrified while she's fighting Ty Lee. She's terrified of, whatever Ty Lee did in Omashu to take away her bending. And you sort of see, it's yeah, the benders are powerful, but they're also afraid of losing their art, because really, they haven't trained for much else. Training to master bending takes so much time and effort that really, if you take that away from them, they don't have much. And, it's a really good back-and-forth fight. Sokka takes on May for a minute. They switch partners. And right as it looks partly because of how tired they are, Katara and Sokka are going to lose, Appa saves the day, which I thought was amazing. It was a great little, how are they going to get out of this situation? Are they going to be captured and have to escape? And nope. Appa just smacks everything away. Right after this, we got a bit of a fight between Azula and Aang, where everyone else quickly like starts showing up and joining in. First we get Zuko, and then we get Iroh. Wait, sorry, it was Zuko. Then right as Aang looks like he's about to be defeated, Katara and Sokka show up. Iroh is not far behind, and then Toph shows up. And right at the end, it looks like Azula is going to surrender, like she is surrounded by all of them. She pretends to surrender, then she strikes Iroh and uses the distraction of that to retreat. So yeah, she's still a bit of a bitch. She is not a great, she is a really bad person, like, that's pretty clear. Admittedly, it was kind of fun seeing Aang chuckle as she revealed her pet name for Zuko, Zuzu. Even I can't say that with a straight face. But yeah, at the end, Zuko, like, really shows how much he cares about Iroh. He freaks out seeing Iroh injured like that, and basically yells at the Avatar and his gang to get away, not even hearing Katara as she tries to offer to heal him. Yeah. This was a great episode. I, as you can tell, I had a lot to talk about this time, so sorry for the extra long episode, but, you know, I had to say what I had to say. I hope you all have a great day, or night, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you next time.